Hi everyone. So my name's Dr. Jackie Tyree from Swansea University, and I'm here as part of our social media and information about the Children's Participation in Schools project. And I'm joined today by an exciting guest, one of our team members, Alison Murphy. And she's going to tell us a little bit about the first part of our research that's now coming to an end, and we're really excited to share with you some of the information from that work package. We call them work packages. That's just the kind of different elements of our project. So that's what we're going to do today. It's just going to be a short little vlog that we're going to share with you around that element of the work package. So Alison, can I pass over to you to explain a bit about yourself and about what you've been doing?
You can. So I'm Alison Murphy. I work at University of Wales Trinity St David, based in Carmarthen, and I've been the lead on Work Package 1, which, as Jackie said, is the first part of our very exciting project. So I'll just explain a little bit about what we've been doing in Work Package 1 and we'll go from there. So we've been doing two things really in Work Package 1. One is sort of analysing Welsh education legislation and policy from 1999 up until 2021. And within that analysis, we've been looking for references to terms such as child voice and child participation. The second part of Work Package 1 was a survey sent out to programmes of professional learning for teachers, including initial teacher education. And we wanted really to find out to what extent these programmes embedded pedagogic practice that supports children's participative rights. So those are the two aspects of Work Package 1, really.
Thanks, Alison. That sounds really interesting. So kind of finding out some background information about the project before we go and do further research. And do you mind me asking what's been the most challenging part of doing that research?
I'd say the most challenging part really has been getting the responses to the survey. We sent out our survey several times and our fantastic researcher, Louisa, spent lots of time following up and working hard to try and get the participants to respond to it. In the end, we only were able to get a really good response from ITE providers rather than a more generic response from other programmes of professional development for teachers.
And let's just remind ourselves, ITE is initial teacher education. Yeah. So in the end, we were aiming for a much broader selection of people that provide training for teachers. Is that right?
We were, so we, contacted lots of organisations, local authorities, etc. But unfortunately, our main body of data comes from initial teacher education. So out of the 11 programmes within Wales, we had responses from 9.
Great. So it's really good from that particular group of participants, but not so much from the other groups, so the broader professional provision. Were there any other challenges you wanted to share with us today, or is that the kind of only real tricky point that you've had?
I think that was the tricky point, because obviously with the legislation and policy analysis, it was mainly documentary based in terms of, analysing the documentation. So that was quite easy in that the documentation, policy and legislation is all very easy accessible. And we worked with Dr Jane Williams from Swansea University, who was obviously very, very experienced in that context.
Amazing. Thanks, Alison. And my final question today, because we're trying to keep this short and snappy, and what would you like people to understand from this research? What are the take-home messages from the data that you've collected in both that, policy analysis and that survey that you guys sent out?
So in terms of the policy analysis, one of the key sort of messages to take away is up until Curriculum for Wales was introduced, there is definitely an absence of participative rights and references to the UNCRC and human rights education in, policy and legislation particularly. And I think the take-home thing that we want sort of people to have from this first part of the work package is, although we are now sort of seeing this recognition of human rights education, participative rights coming forth in the Curriculum for Wales, we need to focus on how we embed this in daily practice. So what we found, there was a lot of what we should be doing, but not how we should be doing it. So we need to move from that what to the how, really, to help practitioners embed these practices in our early years classrooms.
Wow, that's a really, really amazing message, and really a nice, like, easy way of kind of understanding where we're up to now and what we want to go to. And actually, I guess that's what the rest of our project is attempting to do. So a really good kind of setup for the further research that we're doing. Did you want to
So
add something else? Sorry, Alison.
yeah, so in terms of the survey then, obviously, as I said, we received sort of feedback from 9 out of 11 programs for initial teacher education. Unfortunately, within these sort of programs, there's very little evidence of explicit aims or learning objectives that relate to children's participative rights. So again, our message here is, how do we then provide support for ITE providers so that they can incorporate children's participative rights into their curriculum design and then into their implementation, so that we're training our teachers of the future to develop these pedagogic practices going forward.
Amazing. So I think there's lots there to do, isn't there? There's lots coming out of the work package that needs to be taken forward, either with this project or with further research. Well,
Definitely.
anything else you want to add up today, Alison, before we say thank you ever so much for people to listening to this?
No, just keep an eye on our website. We're, constantly posting things, papers that we're publishing, little blogs that we tell you all about the different parts of the project that we're doing. So yeah, I'd encourage people to get involved with the network and get involved with the website.
Yeah, there we go. Alison said it all. Thank you ever so much for joining us today, and watch out for our next blog series when I'll be talking to Dr. Jenny Clement about some of the work that she's been doing. Thanks, everybody. Bye.